In this video, I'm going to show you how to emboss using the Cricut. So our first step is taking our blade out of the Cricut, and we are going to push this little button at the top and remove the blade either by using tweezers or pinching, and we're going to flip the blade upside down, carefully insert it back into the Cricut, like so. And you can use your dial with your different materials. Like vellum and light materials, you're going to want to use a lower number, but I'm going to use it all the way up at 6. I'm going to insert it back into my Cricut machine. And there we go. So next I have my Cricut mat, and I went to Michael's and got some fun foam. This is called Foamies. It came in a large pack for $9.99, which I can use for crafts and everything. And it has an adhesive peel back side. So I'm using a mat that is well used and almost ready to be thrown out. So I'm going to take the adhesive off and stick it on my mat. Now it does come off. If I don't want it on there anymore, I can peel it off. But I'm probably going to use this mat just for embossing. So next I have my settings all the way up on high or on max on everything. And I'm going to take some cardstock, which is cheap cardstock that I got from Walmart. And I'm going to take some Scotch tape and tape it onto my mat. And then I'm going to use my navigation arrows just to make sure my blade is over my cardstock. Next, I have my Reminiscence Accent Creative Memories Cricut cartridge. And I'm going to do this image right here. So I'm going to... Now, another thing I wanted to mention are these little gray rollers on the roller bar. They will, because the fun foam is a little bit thick, and it's not super thick, but it is, like, it's the thinner fun foam, but it is still thick enough that the little gray rollers leave marks in your cardstock. So if you're doing a large image, it will roll through. So it's best to do small ones when you're using the fun foam, and use a thinner spongy material that will give resistance when you're using or doing a large project. The reason you can't just do it on your mat is because it's a hard surface, so it's just gonna scrape the like lightly scratch the cardstock. It won't actually emboss it. So I have my size set down to 2 inches, and I'm going to push cut. Okay, so I'm going to unload my mat and show you the final product. There we go. So you can see that's the side that the blade worked on. And I'm going to turn it around, and that's the embossed side. So it looks really good, and it's just a nice little added touch to your paper crafts project. So next I got these metal sheets while I was at Michael's today as well, and they're by Making Memories. And it comes with one thin and one thick. So I'm going to do to cut it down. Now if you're using really thick materials, it's almost the same as your blades. You're going to want to use your deep cut blade, and use your deep cut blade maybe, and try that with your thicker materials. Because I have my settings all the way up and I'm using thin materials and it works good, you know, it may not just work when you're using thick materials, so you may have to just emboss with thinner materials. So I haven't played around with it too much. This is honestly my first time today is playing around with it. So I'm just going to move my blade. And I'm going to dial my size down to 1.5. Now I have the gray roller is going over my metal, so it may cause some issues, but we'll see. Okay, so I think I'm going to do this image right here. So I'm going to go ahead and find that on my keypad. And there it is, and then I'm going to push cut. Okay, so I'm just going to show you, have the lights on, so it's kind of hard there, but that's the embossed image. Now it's not even embossed that much, but it gives it a nice little effect. Okay, so next I'm going to try using something somebody else also mentioned on YouTube, was using some silicone baking sheet. So I'm going to leave it the full length, and I'm just going to let it run off of my mat. So I have my mat here, and I'm going to use some masking tape and tape it down. Okay, so I have my silicone baking sheet on my mat, and there's a bit of hang off, so I have my piece of cardstock I'm going to use. So I'm going to use some Scotch tape again and tape it down to my baking sheet. Okay, so I have it taped down. I don't think we'll have the same issues we had with the gray rollers on the roller bar, just because there's not as much resistance with the baking sheet, so I think it won't make as much of a mark in our paper. But we'll see. I don't know. This is my first time using the baking sheet, so we'll see. I have it taped down. I did a pretty sloppy job, but I just did it fairly quickly. So I want to do this really pretty image here on the reminiscence accent, creative memories, reminiscence accent, creative memories Cricut cartridge here. It has so many pretty images in it. So and I have my size set to 5. Now I'm gonna lower my speed to medium just because it's a pretty detailed little image here. I want it to do a really nice job. So, oops, I went over the corner of it, but okay. So I'm hoping this works. I'm gonna go ahead and push cut and see what the outcome is. Okay, so it's all done. So I'm gonna unload. And if you can see here, there's no lines from the rollers, so this is definitely the better product to use. Okay, so this is the image that the blade went into, and then this is the embossed image, which you can see is really pretty. It looks great. I'm excited to do this with other projects, and I'm definitely going to be using the silicone mat. This is the side that the blade went on, so you can see what it looks like. And then this is the side, that's the outside, so it has little bumps.